Okay, hello. It is November the 7th, 2022. We are a day away from the full moon, lunar eclipse, the second eclipse. In this cycle, we have a sun in Scorpio and a moon in Taurus opposing it, right? Covering it up. And the energies are actually very beautiful, very transformative, very deep, but very beautiful. There's a sweetness and a gentleness accompanying this deep earth moving beneath the surface, shaking. So I wanted to just pull some cards for the collective. And then just talk about what I feel like is coming in. There's a lot coming in. Oh, look. These are beautiful cards. Sahara Rose, her A Yogic Path deck. Beautiful cards. Brahma. So, Brahma, I've been feeling this one for a while, and then here's the other one, Vishuddha, which is the throat chakra opening, the speaking of the truths. Brahma, and these two very much go together, is the initial creation of the universe. Like when Brahma looks, a new cycle begins. So we have the three heads in the trinity of the Hindu pantheon, which is Brahma, Shiva, and Vishnu, the creator, the preserver, and the destroyer, the creator, the destroyer, and the preserver in the order I gave them to you. So Brahma is the creative element of the divine, and let's not mistake and get caught up in the idea of multiple deities. It's really just any quality can manifest in a form, right? So qualities of the divine manifest in forms our human mind can understand. So Brahma is for us to understand the creative element of the universe. Some new creation is coming in, and it's always spoken with the word, right? In the beginning there was the word, even the Christian Bible is saying, and in Sanskrit and in the old languages, the sound of Om, the Omkar, the original utterance of Brahma, creates anew. So this is definitely speaking to the power of the spoken word right now. So be really mindful of what you're saying, that you are actually constructing the universe as we go. So if you hear yourself saying, I don't know where this is going to go, or I don't know what I'm going to do, or I don't know what I'm going to do with this, that's a great initial statement, but it's not Brahma. So the cautionary tone with this eclipse is be careful what you speak, because that's being created. So to continue those words on with, I don't know what is happening here, so I'm going to begin to construct that reality with my mind. I'm going to begin to map out the highest possible version of that, not a version I already know that's already been created that I don't want to replicate, or I do, because I want to not stay in the ruts of the old reality if I want to create something new. So I want to look at the I don't knows, and of course there's main areas, but they can be expanded on as well. I mean, we have the place of health, right? Health of our body, but we could even extend that to longevity practices. Like, how are my longevity practices, right? Because in the old reality, you might say my health is pretty good, or my health is so-so, or I have great health. Okay, if you feel like you have great health, then move realities to another one. And I'm just giving you an example. You can use your own wording here. In fact, it's important you do, with this Vishuddha energy because it's your throat chakra that wants to be expressed. So, and we can find people that resonate with what we're expressing. And if it seems like what we're expressing is old world, then all the new world people are going to get uncomfortable because we're supposed to be creating new patterns and cycles. The new Brahma. Any awake, aware person is the Brahma of your own existence, your own life. So we can then take a step back from what we've said that have brought up the fears of the old cycles and say them anew again, like give them a new framework. Here's the framework. I'm not just talking about health anymore, I'm talking about longevity. And in longevity practices, maybe I'm just doing so-so. Maybe I'm just at baby steps beginning of longevity practices, but I want to create into that reality. And now I'm working on any old beliefs that align with the dis-ease part of the old health paradigm. That might be something you say to start to talk yourself out of that, or your own version. Relationships is another big one. So the old modules of relating, and that's not just intimate relationships, but it's all relationships are getting upgraded. They're getting renewed, I feel like. All of the main quadrants of our life, okay? And relationships is very like second chakra, where, you can say your health and wealth, in the body can be tied to your first chakra. I mean, there's definitely different centers correlated there. But as relationships get an upgrade, then you might look at, okay, if I'm starting to go towards something that is triggering the old relationship paradigm, like signals, woo, 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 like you're going over here. So how do you want to frame it now? How do you want to speak about it so that it flows very well, so that it is something that you're wanting to create? There's a nice bee that's hanging out. Bee is Divine Mother, is the Queen Bee, the creatrix energy. I want to say that's the hive. That's the hexagon shape, the hexagram that has 6 corners, right? That's 6 is a community experience. But the queen bee element is present in every community, and that doesn't mean like a She-Ra necessarily, though it could show up that way. It just means there is that creatrix. I want to say lioness is coming through, tigress. So it's reminding me that Brahma is not alone. There's always a feminine counterpart. And Saraswati actually is birthed out of the soul of Brahma. That is on the, I think it's a goose of intuition. Saraswati, maybe also a swan sometimes. I think it shows up in many ways in their depictions. But Saraswati is creativity. It is the music, it is the song, it is the dance, it is the learning, it is the development of the tongue, right? So first we have the utterance, home or ha or hey baby, like the utterance, or yes, I'll have some of that. We begin to create a reality, and then in must be Saraswati. Oh, interesting. So I just pulled another one, and it's Rajas, and there is a tiger and a woman here. Rajas. I'm just going to look this up because I feel like I'm getting 2 concepts mixed up, because I want to say it's but tapas is the burning away, the offerings, right? But Rajas, Tamas, Rajas, yeah, is the change element, is the Ayurvedic change element, right? There's this little guy that's just wanting to get in my mouth or something. There's actually a lot of tiny bugs. Just go ahead and ohm while I'm looking for this. I'm pretty sure it's the Ayurvedic dynamic movement. I'm so like blissing in the moment here. Like the words they're getting away from me. Yeah, so tamas is more like inertia, right? Or stagnancy, or like moving it backwards into old patterns or repeating. And then sattva is like living in the totally pure bliss state where everything feels like love and everything feels like divine. And that's a plateau place, just like inertia. So there always has to be the rajasic whenever there's a new cycle, because it can't come of its own volition without some rajas, without some movement. And the movement comes through the roaring tigress. And look, it's lava, it's all the dynamic elements of change and transformation. It is the burning, like the tapas, but it's like you're not making the offering, it's making an offering of you, so to speak. It's moving through you. And so this change, I'm seeing a beautiful example of this in a sister now, who's just letting the rage come forth. And a beautiful rage, is speaking all the unspoken things from the feminine point of view. And like that's the only way it's gonna get out of stagnancy, is for some kind of roar to happen, right? That's what this card is saying. And so I'm even saying, ladies, or the feminine in the masculine, because it exists everywhere, there is some raging of divine truth that needs to happen in order to create the new world. In order to create the new world. So I'm going to pull some runes with that, because that's super powerful and really, really, really up with this full moon energy in Scorpio. Taurus is the beauty, the feminine. Taurus is Venus. Taurus is Aphrodite. Taurus is the embodiment of she. And Scorpio is the volcano. It really is. Coming from the deepest wells. This is very much the Taurus Scorpio energy right here. So I'm going to pull some runes for this eclipse. Speak to me. I feel like Uruz kind of came up upside down, almost wanting to go upside down, but not also wanting to go upside down. And Fehu is the beginning. I'm so sorry. I'm getting so like things are changing right now. This is actually the third rune, not the first. The first is the beginning. This one is the communication rune. This one is the utterance. Anes. I hope I'm getting that one right too. My gosh, the concepts are there, but the words of things are really like, I'm finding myself at a loss. Here I am in my vulnerability of the world's changing and things that I've studied for years like eluding me, and really just the feeling of it staying, which I think is a beautiful part. But Uruz, this is the upright, and that is like working, like the ox in the field. That also has a very Taurus vibe to it, but kind of on its side. See, upside down would be like work you don't really want to do, and it's almost that, but actually you do want to do it. Like you do want to communicate new things. There's another room. This is very like 3 doors. Akalas. I'm like, come on, positive rune. But this is the needful hailstorm. This is the tiger raging. My gosh, this is coming out again and again. This is, hail beats up the ground so that it can get the nourishment down to the seed, so that the seed can sprout and grow. So there is a needful storm, a needful rage, speaking and utterance with Fehu, communication that is actually going to help plow a new reality, like It's work, but it's work that pays off is what this energy is. And so you think you don't want to do it, but you actually do. And the work is actually speaking the new reality into creation. Like, this is how we do it. We speak it. So yes, of course, there's action to follow speaking, but not initially. Initially, the intention goes out, and then you go ahead and live into that intention. You show your alignment, right? Because when we say we're going to do something and we don't, we're showing we're out of alignment. And so every time that we utter something, like, we got to be ready to step behind it, right? And some things take some time. The rune urus is not something that happens overnight. You don't plow the field and immediately have corn. But the intention is, I'm going to put the work in now, and I'm going to walk along the change with it. I'm going to do the work as I go. I'm going to speak the thing, and then I'm going to walk in that direction. Yeah, it's a beautiful message. That's Scorpio and Taurus learning to work together instead of being at opposing forces, because they're both so strong. Like, the ability to go deep, to deeply communicate, like the feminine essence of yourself, your vulnerable, your truth, your real raw truth, to be able to speak that. Like, this is what is true for me. I'm open to shifting it, but from where I stand, like, this is what I'm seeing and wanting. Not from like a hurt place or a demanding or old paradigm place, but from a lot of you know, a lot of us know what we can kind of feel wants to come in, what kind of relationship we want to have with our bodies, with each other, with money. We kind of know. We know, we feel it, we're longing for it. We've been sort of painting the picture in our mind. But it's kind of time, this energy is saying, to put some words to that. Write a song about it, or a poem, or whatever you do. But utter it. And I think light language is lovely, and that's a nice place to start. That's very Saraswati. And then to put it in your own tongue, in the tongue of your heart. Maybe that is the tongue of your heart, but something that you can link up your mind and your heart together, which is usually your mother tongue. Yeah. So when you can speak it to yourself in your own language, what your intention is, then you kind of encapsulate it. You could imagine putting it into a talisman, or something you wear, or a tattoo, and that begins to like allow you to more easily embody, so that your frequency is constantly aligning with others who embody that. And then the communication can flow much easier and quicker when you're in alignment with people, when you can just speak the truth. Yeah. Just super grateful to be sitting with you in this time and in this energy. And I'm excited to watch what you might call the way showers, the awakened ones, you, and all the others watching, to watch us begin to come together and find ways to bring the puzzle pieces together. I feel like that's what's coming after this eclipse. This eclipse is just one more like punch through the old matrix. Almost like, gosh dang it, you guys can do this. For, the younger viewers out there, like, you can do this. Stop with the old way in your mind. Just whatever you have to do, chant for 3 hours to just, or take a 3-hour massage, go dunk yourself in a cool tub with the intention, pour ice down your back, journal for 5 hours, like go to the top of a mountain and scream at the top of your lungs. I feel like I'm getting so much nature confirmation. It's like, this is the time to make a breakthrough. Like, this is the energy that has like a huge push of the divine behind it. Eclipses in India, they say, eclipse, I always stumble when I refer to that to India philosophy, and I shouldn't, but there's so many different modes of thinking over there. I'm always just trying to be careful to not summate. But in India, I learned in my yoga studies that eclipses multiplied the energy of what you're doing, your spiritual practice, your way of thinking, your mode, by 10,000 times on an eclipse day. So whenever I feel the eclipse, I'm like, it's another big point of change. And it's not just on the 8th, it's the days leading up to and following. It's a nice size energetic window to work in. And I think if you start a little soon, that's good, because you get that energy moving, and then it can just be propelled by this eclipse energy. And so if you don't exactly know what you're wanting to manifest or what the words are that want to be spoken, I mean, personal readings are awesome for that, but you can also just use this time to kind of core cleanse, like speak things that just want to be spoken, put them out there, you know, like, and if something's true and legit and solid all the way through, it's not going to blow up when you put it out there, when you just say the thing or utter the thing. Like, true things stand. And so this is a great time to sort of like, boop, boop, boop. Is this solid over here? Deet, deet, deet. You know, like, reality's been kind of doing that for us, but this is like, seriously, you need to know what you're working with going forward on this next phase. Like, you need your trusted companions. You need to be in the right mindset going forward. You need to feel good in your body going forward. You know, like, you want to be doing what you love, because things are getting like locked in, you know, like your embodiment's getting more real, I want to say, going forward. You know, a lot of people say that's part of the battle, that's part of putting on your armor, but there's also a beautiful way of saying that's just you embodying more and more of the truth of who you are, and becoming aware of the realness of the galactic situation, microcosmically, or like little bit at a time, like microdosing yourself to the larger and larger reality system of which you are a part, And it's humbling. And so for me, I love to just sit in the nature, right? Just sit with it and be as attentive. I brought you here before. This is where the cars come by as well, but it forces me to sit in the middle zone, right? Between the stillness and the chaos, and still find my center. So that is the read today. Thank you so much to the energies have been speaking really beautifully and clearly in my heart, and I'm just grateful to be here and share. If anything that was said resonates with you, I'm so excited, and that's so cool, because we think alike. And everything else that doesn't, that's fine. I'm sure you're getting your own messages, and that's what this time is all about, is us learning to tune into that flow ourselves. And sometimes when I watch you do that in your own way, then I get something, you know, when you watch me, and you get something. And this is how we build the global community of resonant-like souls, right? We find each other through what really resonates, what we really feel drawn to. So sending you so much love today. Through this eclipse, you're creating something. What is it? Speak it. And speak what it takes to get to the thing you want to speak. Use this creative energy, this change energy, to boost you forward, and beautiful things await us. Okay. Blessings.